Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel on this Friday, the 15th of March, 2024, the Ides of March. Oh, A2 Brutus, whatever the hell your name is. Anyway, if you haven't shared the stream yet, why? Why haven't you? I ask you every damn day, share the stream. You got to do that. It helps. And also hit the like button here because you're already here. If you're already here, you might as well just see it. You're going to like it. At least I think so. And today I'll try not to have all the technical difficulties that I had yesterday. I'm smarter than I was yesterday. Let's put it that way. Anyway. Okay, that's debatable. I do have my cup of reparations. Today it's in the Fossil Trace Tumbler. Fossil Trace is a golf club somewhere near Golden, Colorado. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was somewhere where my son and I played golf one time, and he got me a cup after we got there. So that was kind of nice of him. That was like a birthday gift or something. Anyway, and I really liked it. So anyway, hey, there's lots going on. There's a lot of breaking news this morning. There's smoke by the Lincoln Memorial. The judge in the Fannie Willis case has made a ruling that's weird, and that's what that's all about. And one of you has got to go. Yes, yeah, that's basically the ruling. And and I think I have a theory on why the ruling is the way it was, and I'm not the only one who has that theory. We'll talk about that and more. But first, of course, we're going to say good morning to everybody, right? Because that's what we do. Click the button there. Yes. And by the way, sponsor the show today. Just please sponsor the show somehow, either through hitting the like button, sharing the stream, or especially through pdognight.live, which is the best place to sponsor the show if you want to do super chats. It's the best place to do super chats for this show. They're fine if you do them other places, but the best place is at pdognight.live. All right, let's say good morning, everybody, and get this thing going. First in the chat over on Rumble, Mr. Avocados down that gets the bell. That was anticlimactic. There we go. There was a little bit of delay on the old soundboard there. And also, good morning, Anon123. Welcome. 123. And that's it. Where's everybody on Rumble? There's usually more people. It says there's 7, 8 maybe now. And say hi if you're on Rumble. And also, over on YouTube, first in the chat is also Avocados Diablo because he's very quick. Thank you for joining us and being so Johnny on the spot every day. Also, good morning to Jesse Leon, Kara Soldier, Somnambul Nation, Simon Wolfwood, Attack Alpaca, and Anonymity, T2. I'll be back. Lord Stanhope's in the house. Who else? Is that everybody? That's it? Really? That's all? Where is it? Oh, TC's here. Zed the Snarky. TC's also over on Rumble. Good morning. Also, you're a ridiculous lunatic. Nice to have you back. And there you go. So, and then that's it. Howdy, neighbor. Wait, who's neighbor? Who's the neighbor? Are we neighbors? Is that why you are here sometimes? I don't know. Anyway, hi. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It's Friday. The weekend's here. Hope you got some plans. Now, my plans personally, unfortunately, we got to go to a funeral tomorrow. It's very sad. My daughter-in-law's grandmother passed away, and she's, oh my God, such a wonderful lady. From the first time we met her a few years ago when we were up at their family's cabins, and she has a cabin nearby, and she let us stay in she has a little guest house they turned her garage into a guest house and had us stay with it. And we used to drink coffee with her in the morning. Oh my God, a delightful lady. But she lives a great life, 95 years old. She just got an honorary doctorate from from North Dakota State University. She's just a great lady, and she will be missed, but she was 95 years old. and lived a great life, or almost 95. She was just shy of her 95th birthday, and we are going to go honor her tomorrow morning in near Fargo. So we got a little bit of driving to do tomorrow. So anyway, but other than that, then we're gonna come back on we're coming back tomorrow night, and then Sunday we're gonna spend some time in our gardens. It's March 15th, and we got daffodils and crocus and tulips starting to come up, and we're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. So, and some hyacinth. All the rabbits have already nibbled down all the hyacinth, and I had to spray yesterday for the rabbits, but I got to clean up the gardens because they're looking pretty shabby, and I'm embarrassed. So that's what we're doing Sunday. And that tells you what my weekend's about. I hope you have some good plans, and there we go. Let's start with the show, though, because we got a lot to do, and as we always, and let's go. So let's go and start with what's trending. Of course, the Ides of March on the app known as Twitter is trending, the app formerly known as Twitter is trending. And I don't know who celebrates the Ides of March. Probably not Julius Caesar, but there. And then there's this one: Beware of the Ides of March. All these. Are those all Caesar bust or those Brutus? I don't know. But anyway, this is that was the famous line from Julius Caesar. Beware of the Ides of March, which would be March 15th. So that's why that is trending. Oh, real quick, I almost forgot. I got to thank some people for tweeting out the show. Thank you to, of course, Somnambule Nation beats everybody on that one, and I'm going to retweet that or repost it, whatever you call it. Also, thank you to another guy, V, and RVA Dar, who I haven't seen you around, Dar, for a while. Are you here? I don't even know. But Dar reposted it. Thank you very much. Also, TC did his own little version of tweeting out the show, which is fantastic. And appreciate that. And so there you go. If you are, I would be very, very happy if you would share the stream. It doesn't have to be on X. It can be on anywhere. Put it on Facebook. Put it on, I don't know where else you go. Whatever you do. If you got a Reddit or some shit. Hello, Green Badger Outdoors over on Rumble. So anyway, thank you for doing that, those who did that. Also trending this morning, St. Patrick is trending. Now, it's obviously St. Patrick's Day comes Sunday, the 17th. And it was weird because I went to scroll down on St. Patrick's Day and I had to stop very quickly because there were things, people sticking things inside their bodies and stuff. And I'm like, what is going on X? All the porn. It was nasty. But here it is. Happy St. Patrick's Day weekend. My annual excuse to make corned beef and cabbage and drink Guinness. Aaron go bragh, Ireland forever. Well, and also the fact that I'm half Irish, I should celebrate St. Patrick's Day. In fact, the O'Connor side of my family definitely makes a big deal out of St. Patrick's Day. I really never did, but I didn't even know I was half Irish until I was 40. So, but yeah, I scrolled down and like one of the first things was somebody doing something to themselves with plastic utensils. And I'll just leave it at that. But President Biden, and I can't even I can put this on the screen. Here, let me just be very careful. I'll scroll very slowly because I don't want the lady with the utensil. President Biden will celebrate St. Patrick's Day early Friday by welcoming Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar to the White House before speaking at the Friends of Ireland luncheon at the Capitol, hosted by House Speaker Mike Johnson. Well, isn't that special? I didn't even have that on the screen, did I? So apparently there is a Washington Post article about it. Let's see what the Washington Post article says, because now I'm not really sure, but I don't know. Is Biden part Irish too? I mean, is that? I'm not even sure. Oh, I can't get the archive article because it's not ready. Well, I'll put that in the links. It doesn't matter. Nobody gives a shit what Biden does for St. Patrick's Day. But the Irish Prime Minister will be in town visiting the United States, visiting with Joe Biden. And Biden will probably fall asleep or some shit on him. I don't know. He's dumb. All right, moving on. Lincoln Memorial Street. Now, this is breaking news this morning. There was smoke. There was smoke near the Lincoln Memorial. I mean, this is not good. And everyone's thinking, oh my God, here we go, terrorists, white wing radicals and whatever. No, it was just, apparently it was a car fire. Oh, wait. No, wait. Listen to this. Black smoke was filmed breaking fire near Lincoln Memorial. Black smoke was filmed near the Lincoln Memorial on National Mall in Washington, D.C. Reports of, quote, suspicious packages, end quote, were reported earlier today by the mall. Now, let's see. Let's see what the little Fox News clip here is that he put on this with this. What is he saying here? In Fox News, we have a Fox News alert.
We got a Fox News alert. Take a look at these images. A big, thick plume of something is rising above the National Mall in Washington, D.C. The source is unclear. Emergency response teams are on their way right now to the Lincoln Memorial to assess the situation. As you can see,
look at that picture.
Whatever it is on the backside.
It's another insurrection or something. No, and eventually I think they figured out it was just a car fire. Let's see. Hearing black smoke around the Lincoln Memorial is just a car fire. We'll keep an eye on it just in case, but it's FYI. Now, let's see. Again, thick black smoke spotted near Lincoln Memorial. Black smoke has been spotted near the Lincoln Memorial. Now, does that look like, well, it looks like there's some black smoke, but isn't there some white smoke there too? Can we have some diversity about the color of the smoke, because that's white smoke and there's black smoke? Breaking thick black smoke spotted near the Lincoln Memorial. Everyone keeps saying thick black smoke, but this is white smoke. This is clearly white. It's at best mixed race smoke. Come on now. Hello, Bishop. How you doing? You think I'm weird, don't you? Good morning. Also, Patio Furniture and Tyler F. are in the house. Zed the Snark. Yeah, I think I already said hi to Zed. That looks like everybody so far. So anyway, now, and again, someone here, suspicious packages were reported to law enforcement earlier today near the National Mall. Doesn't seem like anybody is, and again, I keep hearing suspicious packages, but some are saying that it may have just been a car fire. So anyway, that's why Lincoln Memorial is trending. Also trending this morning, Indian Lake. Now, Indian Lake is an area in Ohio. Apparently there was some pretty devastating tornadoes there. Pure devastation. Several tornadoes ripped through Ohio. Severe weather that led to a series of tornadoes ripped through Ohio on Thursday night, causing severe damage in parts of the state. Several tornadoes reportedly hit Miami Valley. According to WKEF, Amber Fagan, president of the CEO of the Indian Lake Area Chamber of Commerce. Good God, I'm Bidening again.
You know the thing.
And the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Now, that's interesting. I'm not familiar with Ohio, I guess. So the idea that the Indian Lake area has a Chamber of Commerce and Convention and Visitors Bureau. I don't know where, I'm not sure where that is. Must be near Columbus. Anyway, told WSYX in Columbus that she has never seen destruction on this scale in the state. Well, look, if you've never been around tornadoes, they are devastating. I grew up when I was in Omaha. I grew up in Omaha. And in 1972, we had, I think, 11 tornadoes touch down in the city of Omaha. Like 11, the same day, same time. They were just swirling all around Omaha, did just massive destruction. And it was really crazy. I mean, I remember when, we were driving past some of it, later after, a couple days after it happened. And boy, gosh, they are very destructive. So, if you've never seen the destruction from a tornado, yes, it's going to be, you've never seen anything like it in your entire life. So anyway, she said, I was just checking on our local businesses and our chamber members, and that, everybody I know is okay, but I've heard some people are not okay. Mary Rutan Hospital in Bellefontaine has been gearing up to handle a possible mass casualty event with 4 or 5 ambulances reportedly stationed outside the emergency room. Indian Lake schools will be closed on Friday, asking for prayers in our community at this time, and so on and so forth. So anyway, Indian Lake is trending on X too, because there's wait, that's not Indian Lake. Where the hell did Indian Lake go? Right here. This is where it's supposed to be. Yeah, people had footage of it. Wild footage of tornado that hit Indian Lake, Ohio last night. So here's someone's, well, I don't want the music. Let's just forget the music. But tornadoes are always devastating, you know what I mean? So It's just wild. That's from pretty far away, which is probably a good way to. The best way to watch tornado is from a long, far away. Hello, Willett Forge. How you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome back. It's been a while. So anyway, there's plenty of people talking about. Here's another one. Someone took video of the tornado. I don't know. I'm not an expert on tornadoes, and I never really am confident where I should be in relation to them. Now, apparently tornadoes usually travel from.
Is that the tornado?
That's the tornado.
Like
oh
north,
my, holy
in a north,
shit.
Oh my god.
in a northwest direction. I don't know why that is, but that's at least I know in this part of the country, they tend to travel in a northwest direction. So you know where to be. Like the storm chasers all know where they can and can't be, although some of them are idiots and get too close anyway. Good morning, Cool Frog. How you doing, brother? Nice to see you. So anyway, there's plenty of footage on there's plenty of people showing footage of the tornadoes. I better not scroll too fast. If you want to see it on that tab, it'll be in the links today. As you know, I drop all the links that we of everything I show on the screen. There'll be links to it in the end of the show, in the chat, also on the description on a single link called a one-tab link. You click that link and everything will be on one page. So I do that at the end of the show every day. All right. Moving on, also trending, Lake Lanier. This is one of the rare times that you see two things with the word lake in it trending on Twitter. And Lake Lanier is trending. Now, if you're not familiar with Lake Lanier, it's a lake in Georgia. It's a man-made lake, and there's a town that used to be there, and the history behind the town is pretty sad. Back in I think the early 1900s, and there was some incidents where mostly black folks live in this town, and something happened, and basically the crazy white people went and killed everybody in the town, and then they eventually made a man-made lake where the town stood, and so this man-made lake has the town at the bottom, right? Well, Lake Lanier also seems to be cursed. They are constantly, it's one of these lakes in Georgia where they find bodies all the time. Lanier, Lake Lanier. Hello, those ain't real, dude. It's a lake, and they're always finding bodies in this lake. Like just dead people in this lake all the time, right? That's kind of, I don't want to say it's a joke, but it's something that happens a lot, and people talk about it all the time, that they're always finding dead bodies in Lake Lanier. Well, apparently somebody has decided to build a water park by Lake Lanier, and everyone on the internet who knows about Lake Lanier is losing their mind. For example, this woman says, I live about 45 minutes away from Lake Lanier. We never go there. Why anyone would ever build a water slide coaster on Lake Lanier is beyond me. Are they not from these parts? Are they trying to up the body count of Lake Lanier? It's hilarious. I mean, people are like, a water park at Lake Lanier? Wait, what you got here?
Okay, it wasn't a good look.
Okay, so, and this one's like, okay, we're gonna have bodies in Lake Lanier. I mean, it's funny. People are trashing the idea of building a water park at Lake Lanier in Georgia. So I guess you got to be in on the joke. The sediment in the water makes the water turn black. Literally zero visibility. I didn't know that. But anyway, hello, Sure You Gospel. How you doing? Cursed or convenient? Well, one of the two. I don't know. All right, moving on. Destiny is trending. Now, you know who Destiny is, right? He's the dude that likes to do debates on the internet, and he just always believes he's the smartest person in the room when he's a great at debate. I mean, he's from Omaha, and the city of Omaha has a really, really amazing debate tradition in the high schools there. And that's where Destiny grew up. He's a short little dude. I say that because I'm from Omaha too. But he, apparently, I'm not sure why he was trending. He had a couple things. Now he was on Piers Morgan, and I didn't listen to it yet, but I'm going to, because I just thought, well, what the hell? If I'm going to listen to it, I might as well listen to it with my friends. Like, you all right here. And so here we go. Let's find out what's going on. Destiny is a middling shooter. Yeah. Anyway, so according to Destiny, if you were truly paying attention through COVID, you would know that nobody actually believed the vaccines would stop transmission. Thankfully, we have comedian Dave Smith. Okay, he was on Piers Morgan. Let's see what this is all about. Let's try to make it so you can see it, though. We're going to watch this. I haven't seen it, but let's see how this goes.
Okay, but you're arguing with something I didn't say. I'm saying the official narrative was that it didn't come from the lab. If you get the vaccine, you cannot get it and you cannot transmit it. These were huge stories that were flatly wrong.
No, wait a minute.
You're shaking your head. That's
why is Destiny shaking his head? I could pull up video of multiple people saying that if you take the vaccine, it will stop it in its tracks. In fact, those are the exact words of Rachel Madcow, right? And he's shaking his head. No, that wasn't the narrative. Well, let's see what he says here.
It's not wrong.
The official position of the NIH or the government was not that if you get vaccinated, you will never transmit it and you will never get sick.
That's a lie.
I know that there is
the
one quote that people, yes, I'm aware that there's the one quote, but for anybody that honestly followed any of that or saw all of the statements, nobody actually thought that. It is unfathomable to me that people that will make so many excuses for every single Trump gaffe will come out and take like 7 words quoted by the president and go, oh my God, they said the vaccine was 100% effective. It would never, that's unbelievable. Nobody really thought that. That's an unbelievable position.
Fine.
During 2021.
Oh, good. They Let's watch some receipts. Let's see some receipts of this.
We should be able to manufacture a lot of vaccines, and that vaccine, key goal is to stop the transmission, to get the immunity levels up so that you get almost no infection going on whatsoever. Everyone who takes the vaccine is not just protecting themselves, but...
Okay, hang on. There's music in this. I'm not going to do it. But you've seen it over and over. People talking about, well, especially Rachel Maddow. She was so smug damn sure that the vaccine stops the virus in its track. You will never get it. That was what she was saying. And everyone knows that. So that's Destiny making him look like a fool there. Let's see. What's the other one? And this is another one. Oh my gosh. Apparently there's a debate about Israel and Gaza. And this is the other one. There's 2 clips that kept popping up over and over regarding Destiny. Here's the other one. Here's the other one. He talks so damn fast.
If the Hamas is hiding behind civilians die.
Every time they target a kid, I'm sure they believe it's Hamas. When they killed the 4 kids,
they believe.
Yeah, I know they believed it. Even though they were diminutive size. Even though they were diminutive.
That angle, you don't see the size.
No, they saw the size. Let's see the size.
Oh, I know what he's quoting from, but you've lied about this particular instance in the past. Those kids weren't just on the beaches as Office stated in articles. Those kids were literally coming out of a previously identified Hamas compound that they have operated from. They literally did. You can Google it.
Okay, I can't listen to that, but some people are saying that this guy was right. Some people saying this guy was right, but that's the reason Destiny's trending, and I don't care anymore. I don't care. He's boring. But someone who's not boring is the smarmy prick from New York, Chuck Schumer. Now, remember I think it was yesterday, that I mentioned that. There's probably going to be, I gotta find it. There's probably going to be some Americans. There were some hints that some Americans were probably going to start calling for regime change in Israel. Remember, because Democrats are getting hammered by some of their base on Israel. The pro-Palestinian, Palestinian protests all over the country, and Biden had 100,000 vote uncommitted in a couple of these elections because the pro Hamas. Well, I want to say I don't want to. I've got to be careful. I don't want to say pro Hamas because not all the people are protesting are pro Hamas, or if they are pro Hamas, it's because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But I said yesterday that there's probably going to start being pressure on Democrats to call for regime change in Israel, which is really none of our damn business. They have their own fucking government. They're an autonomous state. Well, Chuck Schumer is trending today and last night because of this. Listen to this shit. Listen to Chuck, the smarmy prick from New York, Schumer, talking about Israel. Here, let's put it on the screen, please. There we go. Here's the smarmy prick from New York talking about Israel. Listen to this. And remember, Chuck is a very pro-Israel senator.
The fourth major obstacle to peace is Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I also believe Prime Minister Netanyahu has lost his way.
Well, notice who's posting this. See this little symbol up here? You know what that is? That's Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera posted this on X, the app formerly known as Twitter.
By allowing his political survival to take the precedence.
This is amazing.
Over the best interests of Israel.
Again, this is the Senate Majority Leader talking about how Israel needs to have a new election, and
he has put himself in coalition
get rid of
with
their prime minister.
Far-right extremists like Ministers Smotrich and Ben-Gvir. And as a result, he has been too willing to tolerate the civilian toll in Gaza, which is pushing support for Israel worldwide to historic lows.
Now listen to this. Now, again, you got to remember, even the Israelis who want to get rid of Netanyahu approve of how they're handling the war in Gaza. Now, whether you like the war in Gaza or not, that's not my point, okay? But 80% of Israelis do approve of what he's doing. Now, a large number want him gone once it's over, but they don't want him out before it's over because they're, eliminating Hamas. Hello, Amazing Disgrace and Rod Lyon. What's up?
Israel cannot survive if it
that.
becomes a pariah. At this critical juncture, I believe a new election is the only way to allow for a healthy and open decision-making process about the future of Israel. Fourth major obstacle to peace.
A leading person in the United States Senate is telling another country they need to have elections to get rid of their current prime minister. I'm dumbfounded by this. That, as if Israel's a state or something in the United States. Now, interesting here. So some reactions. By the way, thank you, Zed the Starkey. Dropping a big bullet in the tip jar. Appreciate it very much. And you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much. Who says, I wonder who handed Chucky Boy the larger check. Oh, snap. Snap. Yeah, I wonder. This is weird. Anyway, so Ari Fleischer used to be one of George W. Bush's advisors, says, I don't ever again want to hear a Democrat lecture about foreign interference in an American election. With his speech today, Chuck Schumer forfeited any claim the U.S. can make about foreign nations staying out of our elections. Pretty much, he demanded a completely independent state for a regime. That's regime change. It really is. That's what he's calling for. Fusely Spots, good grief, Schumer's interfering more in Israel's election than he claims Russia did in ours. Yeah. Reports from Israeli media is that Schumer's speech backfired. Reports from Israeli media is that Schumer's speech backfired, i.e. Israelis resent such direct interference in their domestic politics. So the speech helped Bibi, that's Netanyahu. This was utterly predictable. So either Schumer is a fool, or, as I've argued, the Democrats want Bibi to stay in power so they can use him as their foil without seeming anti-Israel. And Ron Coleman, of course, Schumer's a fool. It's nuts. It's nuts that he did that. Mike Pence, Chuck Schumer's attack on the Israeli government is an outrage and undermines the relationship between America and Israel at the worst possible time. And look, I love bookworm addict. I'm not an advocate or I'm not for or against aid to Israel. I don't know why we have to give aid to Israel. Israel is a very strong, independent country, but maybe we've made that determination that that's our job. I don't know why. I'm critical of foreign aid no matter what. because we got to fix ourselves first. But beyond that, but this kind of interference, like, oh, well, we give you foreign aids, we can demand who Chuck can demand who your prime minister can be. If I was an Israeli, I wouldn't care what side of any aisles they have there, because they have multiple lanes to power there. But whichever lane I'm in, I'd be like, motherfucker, shut the fuck. You don't live in Israel. You're not. Get the fuck out of here. That's all I'd be saying. Anyway, Mike Pence finished this up. The prime minister of the Democratic State of Israel is chosen by the citizens of Israel, not the majority leader of the U.S. Senate. Israel is an independent state with a sovereign right to choose its own leaders. The very least Israel is entitled to expect, especially in a time of war, is that we stand with her government and not work to undermine, let alone overthrow it. Yeah, I mean, that's basically, he's talking about overthrowing the government of Israel. But I told you this yesterday, that this is what you're going to start hearing. And here, what mainly is because Democrats are in a tough spot when it comes to Israel. Because all these people protesting about that war are from their base for the most part. Now, there are plenty of people on the right, far right too, who are not happy with Israel's, the way they're handling the war. But this is a left issue, and it's hurting them politically. And so Chuck's got to say something. Dave Rubin, doesn't matter what you think about Netanyahu. Who the fuck does Chuck Schumer think he is, announcing plans to topple an elected foreign government? Exactly. I mean, and that's basically pretty much most of the comments on this are just like that. Even John Hayward, Schumer should, at the very least, be censured by the Senate. It is vitally important to show both friends and enemies that America's allies will not be knifed in the back because Democrats are desperate to cage a few votes from their extremist wing in a couple of swing states. Spot on. So he's taking a beating. Oh, one of my favorite congressmen, Byron Donalds, has something to say. Let's see what Byron Donalds said about this. This is going to be good. It's always good because it's Byron Donalds, and I like Byron Donalds. Here we go. Strap in.
I found Senator Schumer's comments to be disgusting and not appropriate for an American senator, the leader in the United States Senate, by the way, when our greatest ally in the region is at war with one of their great nemesises. We should be behind Israel every step of the way, not trying to use this moment to dispatch Bibi Netanyahu. On a broader perspective, when you are reckless like that with your words, it demonstrates to Hamas and to the Iranians, for that matter, that they have a foothold in being able to dislodge Israel. Right? That is completely wrong. It is the wrong strategy. It's one of the reasons why our adversaries believe that they can get on the move and take territory at a critical time like this. Chuck Schumer's comments were completely out of line, and voters should see very clearly that there is an anti-Israel strain in the Democrat Party. It is sad to see. It is unfortunate, but it is the reality today in 24.
Okay, so there you go. All right. Like I said, Chuck's taking a beating over that one. All right, let's move on. Also trending. Now, let's get it. This is the meat of the show. No pun intended. Let's talk about Fani Willis. Oh, my God. So there's some breaking news this morning, and maybe you've heard it already or maybe you haven't. But the judge, McAfee, I believe his name is, has made a ruling in the Fani Willis case. Now, we know already that they dropped 6 of the charges for vagueness in that case, 6 of the 13. So if you're keeping score, the Democrats' talking point, Donald Trump's charged with 91 felonies. Well, it's down to 85 now. Good, thanks to Judge McAfee. But the breaking news is Judge Scott McAfee has ruled that Fani Willis may remain on the case if she removes her lover, Nathan Wade, from the case, which he is currently leading the case. This is a shocking ruling given the fact that Willis abused her power by hiring Wade, paying him hundreds of thousands of dollars more than others, going on vacations with him, and even meeting with the White House. Once again, we see that this is an opinion by Travis and Flint, by the way. Once again, we see the justice system has completely rotted to the core. When Donald Trump becomes president again, he needs to overhaul the entire DOJ and get Soros money out of the Justice Department. Why are we still allowing this to happen? Well, first of all, Travis, I appreciate your sentiment. This is the state case, though, so the Justice Department has nothing to do with it. Well, in theory, now we know that Fani or Wade, or one of them, went and met with Justice Department officials and the vice president. So that's a little sketchy, right? But anyway, so she can stay on it if Wade is removed from the case. Now, let me go. Let's now, interesting, because here was a prediction as of yesterday from PJ Media. Let's see. Fulton County Superior Judge Scott McAfee said he would have a ruling within 2 weeks, and that 2 weeks wraps up Friday. That was today. McAfee will decide if Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis should be disqualified because of her relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. Let's see. What was his prediction? Well, my prediction was that they were going to find a way to keep her on the case. And they did. And I'm pretty sure that's what this says here. In other words, regardless of what one thinks about the guilt or innocence of the defendants, these charges are too important to trust a prosecutor seeking attention, and hiring her sneaky link to help. Sources on defendants' legal team have signaled that they're on to Willis's and Wade's rhetoric and confusing testimony. Blah, blah, blah. Well, some claim the law is second. I don't know what he said here. I don't have time to read it because I don't want to spend time on that. But here it is. Here's directly from Georgia. Judge issues ruling on whether to disqualify Fulton County DA Fani Willis in Georgia RICO election case. Ultimately, Willis will be allowed to stay on the case for now. Now that says for now is interesting. The Fulton County judge weighing whether to disqualify District Attorney Fani Willis from the Georgia 2020 election interference case has issued a ruling offering Willis two pathways forward. Now it's going to be interesting to see which pathway she takes. In the ruling, Judge Scott McAfee said, quote, "There has not been a showing that the defendant's due process rights have been violated or that the issues involved prejudiced the defendants in any way. He therefore offered Willis two choices that she chose to step aside along with the entire district attorney's office and refer the prosecution to the prosecuting attorney's counsel for reassignment, or Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade can withdraw, allowing the DA, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence. Ultimately, Willis will be allowed to stay on the case for now. The ruling provides an answer to the controversy that has embroiled the district attorney and her office for more than 2 months. In January, an attorney representing one of the defendants in the case filed a motion asking the judge to disqualify the DA and the special prosecutor Nathan Wade, accusing the pair of improperly financially benefiting from a romantic relationship they shared. Other defendants soon joined the effort to remove her from the case. Willis and Wade denied the allegations. So we know all about that, right? We've been following this for weeks. But so the judge is allowing her to stay on the case. Let's see, is this the same language? Yeah, this is
a process we're going through. We want to make sure we give you the correct and accurate.
Where's that coming from? Oh, this one here.
As you know, last night, early this morning, a tornado came through the Indian Lake area.
Indian Lake?
Devastated the Orchard Island area.
Okay, where's this coming
area, from? The Midway area. I would tell you that we conducted searches last night. Looking for injured people.
It's from this case, but I don't see the. I don't see the
fatalities.
All right, let's do this. All right, there we got rid of it. Well, that gave me time to say hi to Avocados Diabli. Thank you, sir. Avocados Diabli says Q&A, 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 Q&A. Repeat ad infinitum. Yes, it is Q&A day, isn't it? Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate it, and thank you for dropping the small bullet in the tip jar. Every penny helps. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. And yes, it is Q&A day. Thank you for reminding me. Let me drop the Q&A link in the chat. It's Q&A day. What ya got? There we go. Friday Q&A is on the board. All right, if you want to drop any questions, basically ask me anything, Day. Keep it sane if you can. That'd be great. and Avocado Stabby will ask the very long question to start the show, because I may not be able to see it over the stupid bar they put over the words. Good morning, Reaction Puerto Rico. All right. Anyway, so yeah. They're going to allow Fannie to stay on the case. Now, there's some interesting other things going on with Fani. It's actually Fani Willis. And there's a couple other things that are trending because of this. Let's see. Let's go back to here. Let's get some reactions here. Other than, now this guy hates Donald Trump. Okay, he's a Ron DeSantis supporter, and he just absolutely hates Donald Trump. And he said this thread is going to be videos of me celebrating that Fani Willis didn't get removed from the Fulton County, Georgia case, and the Fulton County, Georgia case is back with a vengeance. It's a weak fucking case. I'm sorry. Judge McAfee will allow crooked Fani Willis to stay on the Trump case, but Judge McAfee orders her to address the appearance of impropriety before the case can move forward. Oh, now I didn't hear that part. No one's mentioned that part before. Wait a minute. It's breaking. Judge McAfee will allow Fani Willis to stand in the Trump case, but orders her to address the appearance of impropriety before the case can move forward. Judge likely feared for his life in Fulton County. Now that's, by the way, I was going to say, I had a theory on why he did this. Because if he took her off the case, oh my, would he be crucified? Despite the fact that he was once an associate with Fani Willis, if he had taken her off the case, oh my God, a white male?
You're fucking a white male!
Removing a black woman from the case, calling her corrupt? Oh my God, can you imagine? That man feared for his life. He knew better, especially with these Democrats. So anyway, now let's, now this is interesting though. Maybe I missed that part. Let me see what Gateway Pundit's talking about here. Because says he needs to address the appearance of impropriety. Let's see. Oh no, that's just a picture. I don't want that. Well, let me see if I can find it, because that didn't say that in that other article. Let's try this article, maybe. Let's try the New York Post article. Here it is. The decision, he wrote, the prosecution in this case cannot proceed with this until the state selects one of two options. The district attorney may choose to step aside along with the whole of her office. Alternatively, Special Attorney Wade can withdraw, allowing the district attorney, the defendants, and the public to move forward without his presence or remuneration, distracting from and potentially compromising the merits of the case. The allegations charge Willis had become romantically involved with Wade before 2021, blah, blah, blah. So here's, let's see, both Willis and Wade, who only reached a divorce agreement with his wife in January, admitted to the affair but maintained under oath that the relationship only became official in 2022 after they had already brought the case against the former president and 18 others. However, at the hearings into the prosecutor, witnesses presented testimony which contradicted the former lover's claims. Oh, so you mean they lied? You did they lie? Explained a decision after 2 weeks of deliberation. Judge McAfee wrote, the court finds the allegations and evidence legally insufficient to support a finding of actual conflict of interest over Willis and Wade's relationship. However, he also noted, quote, the appearance of impropriety remains, making his decision a split ruling with some of the motions put forward by Trump and his co-defendants granted in part and denied in part. Trump lawyer Steve Sato was quick to respond, saying, while respecting the court's decision, we believe that the court did not afford appropriate significance to the prosecutorial misconduct of Willis and Wade, including the financial benefits, testifying untruthfully about when their personal relationship began. We will use all legal options available to us as we continue to fight to the end in this case, which should never have been brought in the first place. Okay, so then they go into details about the hearings. Look, another thing that's trending because of this, and that would be the word perjury. And David Limbaugh, which happens to be Rush Limbaugh's brother, says If the judge concluded that Wade testified untruthfully, isn't that a grossly euphemistic way of saying he committed perjury? And if so, isn't that a bigger issue than some apparent conflict of interest? How about referring him for prosecution? And again, seems like DAs, this is a brick suit. It seems like DAs are allowed to commit perjury without penalty in Fulton County, unless you consider having to drop your boy toy after paying him nearly $800,000 a penalty. Yeah, I'm curious about what they're going to do with that $800,000 that they paid him already. Like, was that a prepayment or was that a special payment? Oh yeah. Okay, so anyway, Judge McAfee wants to get reelected, so he held Fannie, who committed perjury, misused covered dollars, and tampered with a witness, gets to decide whether she or her lover stand the Trump prosecution. Any lawyer who commits perjury should be thrown out of court. Such a shame on a legal system. Well, I think it's not 100% done. This is called perjury, and Fannie Willis could find herself in prison. So breaking news. Again, this is breaking news. Fulton County DA Fannie Willis testified under oath that she never went to the White House. Official White House records revealed this was a lie. This was on March 6th. She met with VP Harris shortly before placing criminal charges on Trump. So this is interesting. And even here, Judge McAfee's ruling is illogical and inconsistent, even with the four corners of the judgment itself. This is Viva Frei. This is a lawyer looking at it. Number one, there is no evidence of any reimbursement, but Willis' testimony was not inherently unbelievable. Wait a minute. That's a quote. That's a quote from this ruling. There is no evidence of any reimbursement, but Willis's testimony was not inherently unbelievable. Another one, no conflict even when Willis repeatedly made bad choices and despite an appearance of conflict of interest. Tarrant's testimony disregarded. Yurdi's testimony lacked context and detail. Oh yeah, and Fannie's church speech was legally improper, but she doesn't get booted from the file. He's splitting the difference here. He is splitting the difference here, and Viva marks the sections he's talking about. This is, again, I'm telling you the reason this judge did not remove Fannie Willis from the case. I'm going to say it again.
You're fucking a white male!
Okay, I didn't have to say it. That's why. That's why he did not boot Fannie Willis in the case, because he would be crucified in the media, by the Democrats, by everyone in Georgia, and he'll never get reelected in Georgia. But there might be, who knows? I think the defendants in that case do have payments for services rendered. Yes, exactly. The defendants in the case do have, if she stays on the case, they do have ample opportunity to push for her to have a perjury charge. I'm just saying. And I don't know why. Nomad's in the house. What's up?
Stop. Hammer time.
Also, I see Stabbing Joe Scarborough's back. Good morning, sir. I haven't seen you for a while. So perjury is trending because, they committed perjury, and yet he didn't remove her from the case. It's amazing. It's amazing. Also, Alan Dershowitz is trending. Now, this is weird, but Alan Dershowitz has some thoughts on this, and let's see what he's saying. The judge didn't have the courage to remove Fannie from the case. So here's Alan Dershowitz, who has his own problems. I'm sorry. Let's be fair. He has his own problems. Jeffrey Epstein. Anyway.
Well, I think the verdict, the result, is utterly dishonest. I respectfully disagree with Judge Napolitano, who I respect enormously. Everybody
Hold up. Canna Hotep's in the house. And also, number one. Welcome.
Everybody knows that she profited from it. Everybody knows who watched the thing that she committed perjury, that she conspired to commit perjury with Nathan Wade.
She
and with
tampered witnesses.
Who are you going to believe?
She tampered with
this
witnesses.
Judge or your lying eyes. We all know there was an actual conflict of interest here. He just doesn't have the guts to say it. And I predicted he wouldn't have the guts
because
to say it. He has to live in Fulton County. Now, he may have said some things that are very critical.
No white man is going to be able to take a black woman off a case in Georgia. I'm sorry. It ain't happening ever.
Of her. But still, he should have removed it.
You want to see a man get lynched?
Okay, from the case. There is an actual conflict of interest. She made money from this case. If anybody believes that she actually paid back every penny in cash, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn.
I'll tell you what, every criminal in Atlanta, every criminal in Fulton County, not Atlanta, every criminal in Fulton County wants to know where Fonnie lives now, though, right? they want to know where Fonnie lives because she's gonna have $15,000-$20,000 in cash in that house. That's a great target. Back speaking, which thank you, Stabbing Joe Scarborough, back with a vengeance, dropping a 5 is a YouTube super chat. Says there just isn't any justice in the world. I'm telling you, you are right. Thank you, Stabbing Joe Scarborough. All right, let's see what else Alan has to say.
There are people in prison. There are people in death row based on evidence less strong than this. Pings. The lies about why he was at
the booty calls. Are we gonna start calling those Fonnie calls though? Come on now.
At 11 o'clock at night until 4 in the morning playing Scrabble. This is a scandal, and the judge just didn't have the courage to do the right thing.
He didn't have the
guts. Often don't, and they will find a way out. And this is a Weasley way out. Yes, of course, there was an appearance of injustice. Cheap.
Okay, we get the idea, Alan. I'm not going to play 3 minutes of you bitching about this, but it'll be in the links. So anyway, now Fonnie has other problem too. And where is it? Fonnie has another problem that I hadn't mentioned. Apparently, Jim Jordan has threatened to hold Fonnie Willis in contempt of Congress. The House Judiciary Committee would soon hold Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis in contempt of Congress for her deficient response to a subpoena for documents pertaining to allegations that she fired a whistleblower. Committee Chairman Jim Jordan of Ohio warned in a letter Thursday. Jordan said in the letter, which I will link right there, that he will consider invoking contempt of Congress proceedings against Willis after she responded to his February 2nd subpoena with a narrow set of documents that omitted any relevant information about the allegations from Amanda Timpson, a former Willis employee who said she was fired after trying to stop Willis's top aide from misusing $488,000 in federal youth gang prevention grant to pay for swag, travel, and computers. Jordan said contempt proceedings could be initiated if Willis fails to fully comply with his subpoena by March 28th. Now, I am I'm not necessarily a fan of Jim Jordan's actions here. I mean, this seems like okay. This seems like okay. So she's going after Trump, and now we got to find something to go after her on. But on the other hand, we're going to find out if not following through on a subpoena that you've received is okay for certain people and not okay for others. Because remember, there's a couple people who were Republicans, friends of Donald Trump, who had to go to jail for a short amount of time because they failed to respond to a subpoena properly. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not a fan of this shit. This is tit for tat BS, if you ask me. But it's fun to watch and it's great to talk about. All right, and there is the letter from here is the letter from Jim Jordan. If you want to see it, it'll be in the links. You can see it right here. They got it's a 3-page letter from Jim Jordan to Ms. Willis. There you go. It'll be in the links. All right, moving on. Let's see. What is this? I have more. But wait, there's more. Let's go. Well, since we're on lawfare, let's stick with lawfare stuff. In the Trump case in Florida, the judge in Florida has made a decision on at least part of this case. There's several. They had several filings in this Florida case, and one of them is they wanted. Trump's team asked for a dismissal on unconstitutional vagueness. Judge Cannon has denied that dismissal. Now, I have a thread from Julie Kelly on this. I want to I have to pull it up, but I'll get it out. Anyway, well, why is this this is a Fox News. You have to be part of Fox News for this. But anyway, they denied that case. Now, I want to go to a Washington Post article on this, though, because when I read the tweet from the Washington Post on this, it's almost sounded like they were celebratory, but I hadn't read the actual article. But notice what the headline is. Judge Cannon rejects Trump's attack on the Espionage Act. Notice how Republicans always pounce, or they always attack, rather than just saying, we believe that this is unconstitutional. But it's an attack when you're defending yourself. Isn't that weird how they chose those words? Florida judge also expressed doubts about defense claims about the Presidential Records Act prevents his prosecution. Now, there's probably some good evidence for that. But anyway, U.S. District Court Eileen Cannon on Thursday shot down one of Trump's bids to toss out the charges against him for allegedly mishandling classified documents, rejecting his claims that the Espionage Act was unfairly vague when used against a former president. In a brief written order, Cannon said some of Trump's arguments warrant serious consideration, but added it was too early to dismiss the charges. Now, notice that's a complete that renders this almost being a lie. Rejects Trump's attack on the Espionage Act. Okay, rejects it. But what actually happened is her words were, it was too early to dismiss charges based on disagreements over the definition of some of the terms used in the Espionage Act. She did say Trump could raise the issue later in connection with the jury instructions briefing and or appropriate motions. So she didn't reject it. She just said it was not appropriate at this time to consider what they were asking. So those are two different things. That's not a rejection. That just says we're not going to do. You can save this for later. This is not the appropriate time. So the decision came shortly after the hearing, which Trump said the presumptive GOP presidential candidate sat in court as a criminal defendant, sat in court and listened carefully to the legal arguments swirling around him. Cannon voiced skepticism during the hearings about Trump's claim that he could not be charged because the wording of the Espionage Act was too murky, and a different law called the Presidential Records Act was also too broad. You could agree that declaring a statute unconstitutionally vague is quite an extraordinary step, she asked Trump's lawyer Emil Bove at one point. The judge, who was nominated by Trump and has been on the federal bench since late 2020, sounded especially doubtful of the defense claim that the Presidential Records Act means Trump could simply declare highly classified documents to be his personal property and keep them at Mar-a-Lago, his Florida home and private club. Now, it's interesting because the last at least 4 or 5 presidents have all done this in one form or another. So it's interesting, none of them have ever been even considered being prosecuted for it. And in fact, they just dropped a case of a former vice president who had documents that he wasn't supposed to have. I wonder who that might be. Anyway, she said it's difficult to see how this gets you to a dismissal of the indictment, Cannon said. As a judge overseeing the first of its kind case. Again, also the fact this is the first of its kind case, well, this seems like selective prosecution, in which a former president is charged with dozens of counts of violating national security laws. Oh, they wrote this. It's amazing how they write this. It's amazing. By the way, it's curious that Hillary Clinton was never prosecuted for this, seeing as she was never a president. She was never even a vice president. And certainly they said, well, what's his name said? No one would ever prosecute a case like this. That's hilarious. Anyway. And then they go on Florida cases for criminal trials. So anyway, let me go. I'm going to find this Julie Kelly, this Julie Kelly thread about this, because this is important, I think, to note. Here it is, Julie Kelly. There we go. We'll copy link and we'll put it with this other stuff. So Here we go. So interesting, Julie Kelly, who's from America Greatest, who's been following this case. First, I'll go to this one first, and these are quote tweeted, so you can find them when you go in here. So new from Florida courthouse in Trump's classified documents case, and then she makes a prediction. Robert Hur report and testimony is the biggest elephant in the room. She's reporting from the trial, because they're not televised because they're in federal court, so she's been in the court listening. The term arbitrary enforcement has been used frequently by both the defense and Judge Eileen Cannon. Cannon hammered the fact no former president or vice president has been charged under the Espionage Act for taking and keeping classified records, including national defense information, which represents 32 counts against Trump in Jack Smith's indictment. Prediction: Cannon won't dismiss the case based on the motions debated today, vagueness of the Espionage Act and protection under the Presidential Records Act, but it is very likely she will dismiss the case based on selective prosecution, a motion still pending before her. So they haven't gone to that motion yet. And in the case, I was listening to Robert Gravea, who went through this very thoroughly this morning, or last night, I think. But anyway, she goes on. Cannon pressed both defense and special counsel to explain when the crime of willful retention of national defense information begins. She noted the date in Jack Smith's indictment as to when Trump first violated the Espionage Act as January 20th, 2021, the day he left office. Now, so what's fascinating about this is Donald Trump's not the first president to have what's it called? I'm sorry. A top secret or classified information in their possession post-presidency. Obama has 30 million documents, and in fact, disclosed some of that when he was writing a book. George W. Bush had documents. Dick Cheney had documents. Bill Clinton had documents. Ronald Reagan had documents. All these presidents had documents that also included some national security information, and none of them have been prosecuted. If it's the day you leave office that you broke the law, then every single one of these presidents broke the law, including Joseph Rahim Biden, who had a lot more documents than Donald Trump has. Okay, but they just said, "Oh my gosh, we can't prosecute President Biden. He's too senile." Those weren't the exact words, but you know what I mean. So anyway, she continues. Jay Bratt, that's he's from the special counsel's office. He's one of Jack Smith's people. Representing the special counsel's office, confirmed the crime began that day because as a former president, he was entitled to retain. Wait a minute, what? I think this is supposed to be not entitled to retain the document. So he said yes, from the very day after the day Joe Biden was inaugurated, Donald Trump was now in breaking the law. So Cannon again asked for a historical precedent, not president, as to when a former president or vice president faced charges for similar conduct. Bratt, of course, said there is none, including Joseph Rahim Biden. She added vice president on numerous occasions for a reason. Now, I don't know why she even says Hillary Clinton. She was never the vice president. Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and Mike Pence all skated on criminal charges. Trump is the only one who has not. Cannon says, quote, arbitrary enforcement is featuring in this case. Damn right it is. Cannon also addressed the foreseeability as to Trump's awareness he was committing a crime by keeping classified national defense information. Quote, given the constellation of what has happened before, meaning no criminal prosecution of former presidents, including Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan and vice presidents, Cannon suggested Trump could have reasonably expected he was in the clear. Look, didn't they say isn't that what, was it Robert Mueller who said they would, on the Hillary Clinton case. Now, Hillary Clinton was never the vice president. She was never the president. She was a Secretary of State who had no business keeping classified documents improperly at her home, right? But they said, no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute this. Well, then why are they prosecuting Donald Trump for this? So anyway, and that's why she thinks Trump could have reasonably expected that, oh, well, it's never happened before. Why would I be prosecuted for it? I'm doing the same thing they did. Also of interest, Jay Brott, that's the prosecuting Jack Smith team, claiming there is no official process for a president to obtain or keep a security clearance. His argument is Trump's clearance automatically expired at the end of his term, which contradicts how government officials maintain clearances long after their service ended. In fact, presidents have an office of the former president, and there's usually a SCIF involved where they can go and see classified documents securely. If their clearance ends the day they leave office, then why do they have those offices of former presidents with the SCIFs in them? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let's see. So his argument was Trump's clearance automatically expired at the end of his term, which contradicts how former government officials maintain clearances long after their services ended. Trump's elimination of John Brennan's clearance was raised, but there is a problem. The Department of Energy, learning of Smith's indictment against Trump in the summer of 2023, retroactively revoked Trump's Q security clearance. So wait a minute. If it automatically expired, then why did the Department of Energy revoke his clearance in 2023 retroactively? Well, you wouldn't have to do that if his clearance was automatically revoked. Brott says the government has emails and a draft memo to revoke Trump's clearance, whatever. Cannon's counter-argument is, but if there is no formal process for authorizing or removing a president's security clearance, why did the Department of Energy need to memorialize it in post-indictment? Brott didn't have an answer. So, and then in that case, they went through multiple examples of former presidents who could easily be prosecuted still, I guess, right? They could go back and get Obama. They can go back and get Bill Clinton. They can go back and get Dick Cheney and decide to prosecute him because they dropped that prosecution. And they could certainly prosecute Joseph Rahim Biden. All right, let's move on. And then again, here's the article from the Daily Caller making the same point. Maybe if I can get the article on the screen. There we go. Judge questions, why was only Trump charged of handling of classified material? The judge overseeing former President Donald Trump's Florida case questioned during a Thursday hearing why was he the only president who has been charged over his handling of classified material, according to multiple reports. During a hearing to consider various motions Trump filed to dismiss the case, Judge Eileen Cannon noted no former president had similarly faced criminal charges over the handling of classified material, according to NBC News. Trump's attorneys brought up Special Counsel Robert Hur's report finding evidence President Joe Biden willfully kept classified documents, but declined to charge him, according to CNN. Even with other former presidents, there was never a situation remotely similar to this one, Prosecutor Jay Brett told Cannon, according to CNN. When Special Counsel Robert Hur appeared before the House Judiciary Committee Tuesday to defend his report, Republicans suggested there was a double standard in bringing charges against Trump, but not Biden. And there's Julie Kelly's tweet right there. Special Counsel Jack Smith previously cited Hur's report in opposing Trump's motion to dismiss based on selective and vindictive prosecution. Most notably, Trump, unlike Biden, is alleged to have engaged in extensive, repeated efforts to obstruct justice and thwart the return of documents bearing classified markings, Smith wrote. Regarding Trump's other motions, Cannon stated during the hearing it would be an extraordinary step to toss the case based on his argument that the law behind his indictment was unconstitutionally vague. We already talked about that. And then she also questioned whether it would be premature to dismiss the case based on Presidential Records Act, suggesting there was a dispute about whether the documents were designated as personal, as Trump claims, according to the outlets. Okay, so we already went through that. In the Manhattan case, they are going to delay the trial. Now, originally, so the Trump team on the Manhattan District Attorney case, this is the one where he's trying to say that Trump's payments to Stormy Daniels is 34 separate felonies because he was considering federal election interference. Okay, that's basically what they're saying. Okay, he's charging him on a local charge that says you can't, if you get caught doing something that is election interference under the federal government, we have a local law that makes that also a felony. The federal government has never charged him with this, so that's interesting and alone, and it makes it a stretch. But Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg told a judge Thursday that he would not oppose a 30-day delay in former President Donald Trump's trial. Why? Well, the trial for the hush money case is currently set for March 25th, but Bragg indicated in a court filing that he would be open to a short delay to allow the defense to review new records produced by the United States Attorney's Office. The USAO produced 31,000 pages of documents on Wednesday that appear to contain material related to the case and indicated more records will be look, they're looking at like some 70,000 documents. And the Trump team had originally requested a delay just so they could review it because they had asked for these documents from the U.S. Attorney's Office. The U.S. Attorney's Office just gave them to them a couple days ago. They requested this in January. In fact, Alvin Bragg had requested these documents a year ago, and for some reason, they never got them. So now the Trump team also requested these documents for a case that's supposed to start March 25th. They're going to have 70,000 some documents that are new evidence, right? That they need to go through 70,000 documents, or excuse me, 70,000 pages of documents. And so they asked for a delay. Well, now you would think Alvin Bragg would want this case to move because they're trying to make it, interfere with the election, which is my favorite saying. But Alvin Bragg pissed off all the liberals yesterday by saying, "Oh wait, well, we're amenable to a 30-day delay to move the case back so they can go through all these documents." Because Alvin Bragg's office hasn't been able to go through these documents either. And so, boy, oh boy, was it a shitstorm yesterday on X when he did that. Anyway, so despite having access to those materials since June, defendants raised no concern to the people about the sufficiency of our efforts to obtain materials from the USAO before last week. Instead, defendant waited until January 18, 2024 to subpoena additional materials from the USAO, that's the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then consented to repeated extensions of the deadline for the USAO's determination. He wrote, nonetheless, and although the people are prepared to proceed to trial on March 25th, we do not oppose an adjournment in an abundance of caution to ensure that the defendant has sufficient time to review the new materials. Oh, is it just the defendant who has to review the new materials, Alvin? Okay, I was going to try to do a Chipmunk song, and then I thought I was going to do the Lollipop Guild, but that's not the Chipmunks. Anyway, so all the liberals are pissed off about that. All right, let's do a lightning round because I got to get out of here. James O'Keefe is at it again. Now, this is wild. I watched some of this yesterday. Apparently, James O'Keefe, I'm just curious. Okay, he keeps finding these gay people who are officials in large places and setting up dates with them and doing his little hidden camera shit with them. And boy, oh boy, are these guys chatty. It makes me really concerned about how much these guys talk to strangers about things that are probably shouldn't be talked about to anyone who's not in the know. But anyway, he interviews a top Pentagon official. This guy's name was Jason Beck, whose title is Associate Director, Total Force Requirements and Sourcing Policy at the Secretary of Defense's office. Okay, part of the Secretary of Defense. He spoke to O'Keefe with a full Wokester menu of opening the border, disarming the population, repealing the Second Amendment. He wants to abolishing the Second Amendment, abolishing the Electoral College, abolishing the United States Senate, and stacking the Supreme Court. And his tone was repellently lackadaisical. Like he just thinks these are all ideas that we need to do in the United States. He wants a new constitutional convention. O'Keefe posed as a gay guy in a flowery flowered shirt seeking a romantic relationship with the official from apparently a gay dating app in order to get him to open up. So somehow, it's funny how many of these people are on gay dating apps too. It's an astonishing interview given that Beck, whose LinkedIn lists him as a 2007 graduate of Beltway's Catholic University of America, holds so much power in the Pentagon. According to the interview, his actual job seems to be public relations. He's the one who tells the Pentagon officials what they're going to say in certain kinds of congressional hearings known as posture hearings, such as the one, well, he wrote about it a couple days ago. I tell you what, you got to watch it. It's only about, how long is this thing? I can't remember. It's only 20 minutes long. It's astonishing how much this guy blabs and talks about things, and James O'Keefe just keeps him going and going. In fact, at one point, James O'Keefe mentions himself. He said, "Oh yeah, have you ever heard about this guy James O'Keefe or Keefe or something like that? Yeah, he's this guy who goes out there and gets people to say shit." And the guy knew who he was talking about, and saying, "Oh, he's just awful." He's talking to fucking James O'Keefe in the video. It's amazing. So I strongly recommend you watch that one. All right. Apparently in Trudeau, Canada, Canadian friends, in the land of Canada, Justin Trudeau's Canada proposed a law that may allow life imprisonment for online speech crimes. Holy fucking shit. By the way, do you know that John, what's his name? John, I can't remember his name. He's not Galt. The guy that wrote that song. Holy fucking shit. Okay, I'll figure it out in a minute. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Justin Trudeau, Canada, proposed a law may allow life imprisonment for online speech crimes. A proposed law in Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Canada will reportedly allow judges to throw adults in jail for life if they advocate for genocide online. Now that's interesting because words versus actions, but Fox News reported Thursday that the Online Harms Act, Bill C-63, would permit life sentences. The article also said the law would also allow a provincial judge to impose house arrest and a fine if there are reasonable grounds to believe the defendant will commit an offense. So, Minority Report. Yeah, you got to read that one. I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to say any more. And we talked about, well, I don't know if I talked about this, but they dug up the old Biden's not senile. He just stutters. That was my last video, my little short video was about. And boy, did I upset some people with that one. Some of the comments, people were just, "Oh, you're just a terrible person," blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they, all of a sudden they're talking about his stutter again. I think it's because Donald Trump kind of mocked him, and they said, "Oh my God, you're mocking a person with a disability." Now, just a reminder, during Joe Biden's entire Senate career, never once had you ever heard him mention a stutter, except for one time in '86, there was some kind of bill about something, and they said, yeah, he stuttered as a child, but he overcame it by high school. But now the media is saying that he's had a lifelong stuttering problem. Well, no. In fact, if you go back and look at any article about this before he became vice president, because it started around the end of the vice presidency where people started noticing that he was kind of having some little issues, right? Anytime before that it was ever mentioned, which is extremely rare, it was he stuttered as a young child. But by high school, he triumphantly overcame it. He had this speech thing he had to do in high school, and he just, pounded through it, right? And so he overcame it by the time he was in high school. But now they're saying he has a lifelong stutter. Again, and it's, just because and it's funny because the stuttering isn't the problem. It's the brain farts. Okay, when he says stupid shit, or when he says he talked to a foreign leader who's been dead for 20 years, that's not stuttering. That is your brain is fucked up. So anyway, article on that. Let's see, we can drop Ace here. Also an article in American Thinker about Bernie Sanders introducing a bill to go to a 32-hour work week for the same pay. He says that technology has made everyone more productive, and so we should go to a 4-day work week, but everyone should get paid the same, Now it's interesting because whenever I see someone mention this, I think, hey, there's a lot of people who work hourly in service industries, and if you say that, okay, the work week's going to be 32 hours, but most service industries are 7 days a week. So are you going to how are you going to deal with that? And also, look, if I'm self-employed, your little 32-hour, 40-hour, whatever work week doesn't mean shit to me. I might work 50 or 60 hours a week because I'm trying to keep my business going. So, and I've never gotten it where, in fact, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders unveiled a plan that would create a 32-hour work week with no loss of pay. The bill, titled the 32-Hour Work Week Act, would reduce the standard work week from 40 hours to 32 hours over 4 years by lowering the threshold for overtime pay for non-exempt employees. So they're going to try to make people pay overtime if you work over 32 hours a week. You know what's going to happen? They're going to hire a lot more part-time people to work 32 hours a week or 31 hours a week, and they'll have more people working and there'll be a whole lot of more people working 2 jobs. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Bernie Sanders is a communist. Fuck him. As also in the Breitbart, White House, we're still making inflation progress. Last 2 months had seasonality. So the increase in inflation over the last couple of months, showing that the Inflation Reduction Act really had nothing to do with inflation. The White House says, oh no, that's just seasonality. We are making progress on inflation. Yeah. In other words, what they really mean is inflation continues to progress. In the New York Post, harrowing video shows men clashing moments before a subway shooting as frantic riders scramble for the doors, yelling, "There's babies on here." If you're interested in crime, there's a crime piece for you. I'm not going to go through it. And in PJ Media, the weather's getting warmer, so there's going to be a lot more shootings in America's blue cities, there's something that's seasonality. It's sun's out, guns out. And then we talked about the secret LGBTQ class for 3rd graders. I believe it was in California, Elk Grove, California, where there's a dad blasting them. And we'll finish with this. Daily Wire, Kamala Harris makes first visit by a vice president or a president to an abortion clinic. Kamala Harris visited an abortion clinic. Oh boy, I don't even want to hear the jokes that come from that. Anyway, we'll finish with this clip and then we're going to get out of here.
Now, it's bad enough that you've done this to post-pubescent teenagers with porn in libraries and public drag shows. But now we know there are secret rainbow clubs in at least 1 elementary school, possibly up to 10 of these elementary schools. On top of that, when a school principal was called out on this, less than a month later, there was magically a teacher training put on by the Youth Development Office to help teachers and staff respond to parents who may have a problem, just a small problem, with a stranger having secret sexual conversations with their 8-year-old. Now, I had some questions. I sent those to my son's principal and to the superintendent, and I did hear back, but those answers only created more questions. But I have a couple of different questions for the board. Number 1, what the hell?
Wait, no, stop. That's all. That's all you got to ask. That's all you got to ask. What the hell? That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Q&A. Quick. Q&A. We're going to Q&A. I can't do it. I got to go through this quick today. All right. Friday Q&A. Oh, my God, AD. What are you doing? All right. I'm going to have to fly through Q&A today. Okay. Something about image take, except for chaps, offers you an Eskimo pie or a Heath bar. Which do you choose? Eskimo pie. Lord Stanhope, Sprite or 7-Up? 7-Up, but it's hard to find anymore because they changed. PepsiCo now has something called Starry, and 7-Up is, still exists, but I like 7-Up because it doesn't taste as syrupy. Avocats Diablo, you wake up, your head is attached to Hillary Clinton's body. Oh my God. A midget naked except for chaps offers you an Eskimo pie or Heath bar. Which do you choose? I choose death. Okay, that's the question you were asking. I got it. You did it again. And another 7-Up or Starry. I got it. Starry. 7-Up or Starry. Sprite, 7-Up or Starry. Still 7-Up. It's the lightest. It's the crispest. It's the original. Avocados Diablo. Did you see the clips of the interview Don Lemon's worst journalist of the year? What did with Elon Musk that got his Twitter deal pretty much nixed? Well, the facts on that is it didn't get his Twitter deal nixed. There was no Twitter deal other than he was going to be able to go on there like everybody else and monetize his work. Like, for example, Tucker Carlson doesn't have a Twitter deal. He just monetizes his work on Twitter. And so, did I go through that yesterday? I think I did. Yeah. And Elon Musk himself said there was no deal. He said you could monetize it like everybody else does. And Don Lemon doesn't understand the difference between CNN and Twitter and social media. So that's it. In Avocados Diablo, in the Disabled Football League, what do you think the spread will be between the all blind people team and the all paraplegic team will be? Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Oh my God. What's it like on your planet? Against the all paraplegic. Well, I don't know. It depends on how good the blind people's hearing are, because they have to really listen very hard for the canes and wheelchairs tapping on the turf. I don't know. Reaction Puerto Rico. Any people in your city having buyer's remorse with Biden? I don't know. I don't talk to people in real life. Lord Stanhope, in your opinion, who is better, Gaius Julie, or Gaius Octavian? It's got to be Julius Caesar. Avocados Diablo, do you know where you're going? Do you like the things in life is showing you? Do you know where you're going to? Yes. Reaction Puerto Rico. Will there be an ambitious DA that will prosecute Fanny for lying? Ooh. I tell you what. I can't believe she's still on this case. Lord Stanhope. Maybe because there's already people going after there's a case. One of the Georgia taxpayers is suing the state because of Fannie Willis. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Lord Stanhope, what's the best deli meat? Cured ham. Avocados Diablo, would you rather have a hovercraft or a tank minus the artillery? Oh, definitely a hovercraft. Avocados Diablo, do you swallow toothpaste? No, that can kill you. Eventually. Lord Stanhope, if you caught a midnight train, would you take it to Georgia? No, I'd probably take it to the North Shore of Lake Superior just to see the scene. Or there's a cool train in Colorado too. I can't remember the pass, but they have it's like a dinner train that goes out and through the mountains and comes back, and it's supposed to be really cool. Avocados Diablo, have you ever been tempted to sleep inside a refrigerator? No. Lord Stanhope, who do you think was worse, Jeffrey? Oh, the worst Jeffrey, Epstein or Marsh? Worst of two supremely evil. Jeffrey Epstein. He literally kidnapped people and put them on an island. Jeffrey Marsh, we just assume he's a shitbag, which he is, but we don't know. We don't know the details yet, and I don't want to know. Well, only to put him in prison. Avocados Diablo, is it a hostage situation if someone with multiple personalities threatened to kill themselves? Well, it depends. If only one of the personalities does, or if one of the personalities threatens to kill the other personality, then it would be a hostage situation. Avocados Diablo, would it be acceptable to say the opposite of progress is Congress, since pro is the opposite of con? Yes. Why, Avocados Diablo, why is it called taking a shit when you're actually leaving it behind? Well, it's funny because I don't call it taking a shit. I call it leaving a shit. Avocados Diablo, do you think I could train a woodpecker to follow a specific person and constantly peck trees near them to drive them insane? Oh, that'd be a good one. I don't know, but that worth a shot. Avocado Diablo, is it possible to purchase an entire chess set at a pawn shop? Yes. Avocado Diablo, if it is a penny for my thoughts and I put in my 2 cents, exactly who's getting the extra penny in profit? Whoever asked for the penny for your thoughts. Avocado Diablo, why does the sun bleach your hair but tan your skin? Magic. Lord Stanhope, you are having a fish fry. Do you use cod, haddock, or pollock, or whiting? Breading and condiments are the same. I'd use walleye. Avocado Diablo, why is there no such thing as a mouse-flavored cat food? I don't know. Mice taste like ass. I don't know. Which tastes better, construction paper, legal paper, or parchment? Oh, definitely construction paper. Avocado Diablo, when a child is born, their feet come out at 11:59 p.m., but their head comes out at 12:01 p.m. What is their birthday? 12:01 p.m. It has to be completely born. Lord Stanhope, did you know that the most Guinness consumed in North America is actually brewed outside of Baltimore? I did not know that, but here's to Baltimore. Avocado Diablo, are calories in a stick of chewing gum just for chewing it, or does that include swallowing it? No, the flavorings and sugar are the calories. Avocado Diablo, if I can't drink and drive, why do I have to show my driver's license to drink? They're verifying your age. Stop it. Oh my God, I'm so out of time. Why are they called apartments when they are all connected? Because connectedness is really really awkward to say. Avocado Diablo, is this the second to last question? No. Lord Stanhope, wouldn't you think it's suspicious that you go on a blind date and your date spends most of the time asking you pointed questions about your job? Well, no, you know what he does? He gets in these conversations and they start talking politics. They talk about a lot of different things, but then they start talking about politics. And usually the idiots just start opening up about what they think. And it's, oh my God. And he's just eggs them on and think, oh my gosh, you're so right, this and that. And then they just keep babbling. So yeah, they're stupid. Avocado Diablo, if advocating for genocide in Canada is a crime, what will that do to abortion activists? Oh, shit. Yeah, Margaret Sanger would be in prison for life. Okay. Avocado Diablo, if you get paid $10 an hour and work 40 hours, and then they lessen the work week to 32 hours, but you get paid the same, don't you still get paid $10 an hour? No, he's proposing that you balance it out. So you get paid more per hour to work 32 hours. And he's basing it on productivity and the increase in productivity and the age of the internet and shit. And it's just stupid. Lord Stanhope, if a stutterer tried to curse you out, how hard would it be to stay standing? How hard would it be to stay standing? I don't know what that means. I'm not sure. I can't answer that. And then finally, last two questions. What the hell? From Avocado Diablo. Yeah. And GDSOB, can I get a happy birthday shout out for tomorrow? Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, GDSOB. Happy birthday to you. And on that note, I got to go. I'm so late. Thank you guys for the questions. And my name is P-Dog Knight. Oh, I'll put the links in the chat and all that stuff. And y'all have a wonderful weekend. But I literally got to go. My name is P-Dog Knight. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.